Dependency. What separates a man from a boy is a man is no longer dependent on the parent or the caregiver. A man takes care of himself. The same for a girl. When a girl becomes a woman, that distinction between a woman and a girl is a woman is no longer dependent on a parental figure. They take responsibility for their own lives. Now, dependency culture perpetuated by government aid to those who can't take care of themselves. Woodrow Wilson, who started this program, when he started it, had within the program training and services to help the people who are being aided when they're able to take care of themselves. Occupational education, career advice, career counseling. These things need to be available so that aid given to those who need aid it's the distinction between you feed a man a fish, they're only fed for that day. You teach them to fish, they're fed for life. So that distinction needs to be understood. This wealthy philanthropist was saying a handout. So there was the way he was describing it. The handout, there's this and there's this. This was the distinction. Is you helping somebody to get on their feet, or you helping somebody to be dependent? So if you're helping somebody to be dependent, then you enabling bad behavior, which is what is happening, the social engineering that is happening these days. A lot. And then so what I've understood is that Woodrow Wilson, the way he started it was a way for people to get back on their feet, yet it was intentionally sabotaged so that it isn't getting people on their feet. It's those aspects of it that educate people, teach them to get on their feet, was removed intentionally to make it so that it encourages dependency to do harm. You see, because when there's dependency, when you're dependent on somebody, then they use that to have power over you and abuse you, take advantage of you, to weaken you. And then that was intentionally done for those populations that were not taking care of themselves because of the past history, because of the minorities who have suffered in history, and then the disadvantaged, to make them dependent intentionally so that they can be subjugated. It was intentionally done. And then so that is behavior. A drug dealer will entice somebody to be addicted, and then so since they're supplying that those who are dependent on them, then they have potential to abuse them in varieties of ways, sexually, financially, emotionally. Abusive relationships, the one partner will abuse the other one who is dependent on them. So even though that abuser has ill intention, the victim, it provides something to the victim that the victim then cannot do without. Who else is going to love you, right? So then I'm the only one can put up with your crap. So then you have to stay with me, and then sabotage all other relationships, so that all other sources of your supply. Religion does that. Religion, churches that say we are the only true church, we are the only ones who are telling you the truth. I am the one way. There's no other way to heaven but through me. That is a statement, so that's a monopoly. Monotheism. There's only one true God. It's the one I represent, the one in this book. You'll only get to heaven through me. I am the only supplier. You have no other choice. You don't take me, you're going to hell. That is a common feature of abusers, and it's been embedded in the most prominent belief in the world, the biggest conspiracy ever, from the beginning of time. Everybody thinking they're loyal to the one true God, and that one true God is used in all of these slimy churches. Slimy people take advantage of the vulnerable most often, financially, emotionally, through this method, and controlled all the people. Obedience, they say. And then the worse they make you feel about yourself, the more prominent that method is. You're a worthless sinner. And Tanya, wherever she is being told that she's a piece of shit. Intentionally, the people in a religious organization told to believe that, and your only way out is good Lord above. You're insignificant. You're nothing. And then I've heard them talk that way in Bible study per group, that the individual saying that they themselves are the source of all the problem. This is the sentiment being indoctrinated into people by churches and religions in order to subjugate them. Don't believe it. You are significant. You are pure love and light, and the highest authority is you. Every individual in the universe is a representation of all that is, that ever was, that ever will be. The highest authority is in you, in every individual. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking otherwise. You are a source of pure light and love, and you are the Almighty is in you. It is you. And this is the greatest taboo, because when you realize that, others cannot have power over you. I'm Zeke Madavosian.